Welcome back to a very exciting episode of Modded Motors. Today we're going to be talking about the all-new carbon fiber intake from Ideal Race. Very excited. We've been talking about this and hinting towards it over the last few weeks, and we finally have it in our hands. We've finally been able to test it and play with it, and we are very excited to introduce this product to you guys. As of Monday, October 9th, Ideal Race will be having these carbon fiber intakes available for the Giulia and Stelvio platforms. They'll have a phase 1, phase 2 tune with ethanol mix. You can go to their website to read more about it. They'll also have downpipes available. Again, you can go to their website to read a little bit more about it. Today we're going to be focusing strictly on the carbon fiber intake, which again we're really excited to have our hands on and be one of the first people that Ideal Race sends us out to. Immediately when we opened this product up, we can tell it's a little bit of a higher quality just by the packaging, the way they kind of laid everything out. It was a very pretty piece compared to other things that I've bought. Maybe I'm just used to buying used parts, but it was a very nice setup. So in this you get the full intake system, inlet, air filter, inlet piping, pretty much everything you need in order to install this. Obviously with the benefit of just intakes in general, it's more power and torque gains. One of the main components that you get from this is just a bigger inlet housing, more air to the turbine, gets you a little bit more power. Ideal has moved theirs up to 3.5 inches, which is a lot bigger than stock. And while we had both intake systems out, we went ahead and weighed the stock system, which came in at 6.2 pounds. And then we weighed Ideal's intake and weighed 2.2 pounds. So there's about a 4-pound difference when you switch over to the carbon fiber intake. And I know some of you guys are really focused in on some of the power gains. Using the carbon fiber intake and their stainless steel downpipe, they generated 393 foot-pounds of torque and 313 wheel horsepower on E85. Really cool numbers to see for the 2.0 community. They were able to hit a quarter mile in 12.32 seconds, which is pretty impressive. For this portion of the video, I want to talk about the price point and get some a little bit of an in-cabin experience so you guys can kind of hear the intake going off a little bit. But the price point is set to $800, as you guys can see from their website. And I know maybe a little bit sticker shock to some of you guys, especially some of you guys who are new to tuning your guys' cars or buying aftermarket intakes. Get other carbon fiber intakes for other different manufacturers, for other different makes and models of vehicles. It's not too far off from what you would see from a price point for a carbon fiber intake. It's carbon fiber. I know a lot of R&D went into this, making sure that you got the fitment right, making sure you got check engine lights, make sure it was a proper intake. So that's the second portion that you're paying for, the R&D behind it. Alrighty, so if you guys are familiar with me and the channel, you guys know on this car I was not running a stock intake. So the best example that I'm going to be able to give you guys is on the Stelvio. I'm going to try to mock uninstall for you. I'm not really going to uninstall because there's no point for me to uninstall it because the intake is actually going right over here. One of the main tools you're going to need is a flathead. For me personally, I'm going to get under here and you're just going to put the screwdriver in and kind of pry up. And then these are just going to pop straight open. They're going to be 10 millimeters that you're going to drop straight in here. And you're going to remove those 10 millimeters to get them off the car. Once you do that, the engine cover is going to be wiggly and you're just going to pull back and it's going to pop right off, okay? The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to have these style clamps right over here and right over here. These most likely are going to be a 7 millimeter. So you're going to want to utilize your 7 millimeter clamp, or you can utilize a flathead right onto here, which actually this is pretty nice that I have this off. But you're going to utilize a 7 millimeter or a flathead, and you guys can kind of see inside that there's going to be a flathead. Now I will say, depending on who put this on last or if it came from the factory, it is pretty annoying to get to. It's like right over here, and I'm going to put this right in here to kind of demonstrate. And then you're going to, once you get it on, you can start turning. This system right here is going to be reutilized when you put on the carbon fiber intake. If you guys come take a look over here, this is the same stock part. The only part you're removing is this portion right over here and then this portion right here on this side. Okay, this is another 7 millimeter that you guys are going to take off right here, and that's a pretty easy process once again. Okay. And then the last thing that you need to do, there's 2 ports right under here that are kind of hard to see. They're a pinch tab. You're not gonna be able to see me get my hand underneath. It actually has a little bit better room under the Stelvio than the Giulia. You're gonna pinch these tabs. You'll feel clips on both sides and pull down. You can try to wiggle them off as well. Same thing for this, pull down. There's 2 that you're gonna need to remove. And then this is a pinch as well. This is gonna pinch 2 sides. You kind of feel the grooves on it. You pinch it and you remove it. You kind of pull down to remove. This right here, it's the same style clamp. I'm gonna show you guys right over here on this side. When I did my last intake, I replaced this clamp. I replaced this clamp with one that I got from AutoZone, so you can get this same day if you need to, or you can order from the Amazon. Same style as these 2. It's just a miniature version, if you will. I don't know if you necessarily need to replace it, but it made me feel comfortable replacing it, so I went ahead and replaced it. To get this off on this side, you're gonna have to use vice grips or something in order to pull it off. This was probably the longest portion of just taking this whole intake off. Once you get this portion off, this is going to stay a part of this whole system right here, because obviously this is going to be holding up. In order to make your life a little bit easier, you may want to separate this unit from the stock intake box. So you're going to use Allen to remove these. One's going to be lifted up here, one is going to be down here. You're going to remove those, and then this will come independent of this system. The last necessary bolt that you're going to get off is this 10mm right in here. You're going to kind of get into a weird angle. For the Stelvio, you may need to remove this. For the Giulia, there's nothing in your way. You kind of just jump in and pop, 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 and it kind of comes off. This is how it's bolted currently, and then it's going to be held in right here. There's only that one 10mm that's holding it in. The way that I did it was once I removed the MAF, I put my hand in here and I just kind of yeet it up, and then it's going to remove from here. Now, my last intake system called for me to remove this bracket. I don't know if it's necessarily a necessity to remove it from this intake, but I think it cleans up the engine bay, so I'll go ahead and advise you guys to take this off. There's 2 10mm bolts under here. I'm so glad that I have this independent, because you will not be able to see these and it's not easy to show them. Once you kind of get down there, you'll see how hard it is to get to them. Just take your time. These 2 bolts and this were the most annoying parts of removing the stock intake box. I really like attention to detail. I think this product does really good attention to detail. Some of the other manufacturers that you might see with intakes, they don't have this little notch. It's not a big deal, but there's a notch right here on the housing, and this little notch just tells me that they've obviously tested their product. They know the fitment to a T, and it's just not some one-size-fits-all and the quickest way to make a buck. It's a proper system with a proper thought process that went into it. I'm just a really big guy. I'm really big on attention to detail, so I like when companies put the same attention to detail into their product, and I'm very, very happy with this. So when you're tightening this, you want to just make sure you tighten it at a level where you can get to it if you need to take it off. Again, once again, just a really nice setup with everything inside the packaging. Try not to lose anything. That's pretty.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into the next portion of this video, and through it, I'm kind of building the intake. And you can kind of see it through the lines. They're really nice packaging. They broke it up in 3 different sections. All these are 3 different parts that you're gonna need. So the first one is this portion right here. All you have to do is push it in, and then there's a bolt right under here. You guys will see me installing it and tightening it, telling you not to break the carbon. This was its own little bag, and then that was that portion way down there, if you guys can see it. And then the last one was just the bracketing system. So they broke it really nice to 3 different parts, so you didn't get confused on which bolt went where. They didn't put into some Ziploc baggie. Made it very easy for you to understand. It looks like this system is gonna go in just like this. Oh, what a beautiful fit, man. Again, you don't wanna over tighten on this because it is a carbon setup. You don't wanna crack the carbon. Just think about that whenever you're doing it. I'm assuming that's how it goes. This product right here, slide it on, that's all I did it off camera. You're gonna connect this right down in here. Those 2 systems on, really nice billet system right there. You're gonna drop this down, bad boy down in here. So I had 2 questions when installing this. I had no idea what this was for, and I was trying to figure out how they supported the weight. I figured out, because we're coming to the end, how they supported the weight, which is really smart. So there's a bolt on the chassis, which I just lost it. I had it a few seconds ago. There is a hole at the bottom of this. Alrighty, and one of the things that I forgot to mention when we're reinstalling this is there's a 10mm bolt right in here. If you guys can see it, it's really hard to see it. You'll feel it. There's a place to install right underneath the intake, and you can line your finger up, and it's the only 10mm bolt that is right here.
We're live.
Alright, I'll be honest with you guys, that bracket was a little rough.
A little.
The best advice that I can give you, I went back to re-record and I'm re-recording it now. Get this portion in first and then do the bracket. But I'll at least thread the hole through this bottom hole so it catches a little bit easier. That's my best advice for you guys. Perfect fitment all the way around. You just feel secure. It feels secure, it feels good.
Yeah, that thing's not going away.
There's only one way to do this. You can't mess it up. We walked you through the whole process. We're a little sweaty, a little tired. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What we do for content. Let's see here.
It is 2 a.m. Look at that. See?
All right. Final thoughts for you guys, because I'm always going to be transparent and give you guys my final thoughts. Really, for me, I thought this was a really nice system. I just felt like there was a lot of time and effort that went into this. If you guys really don't know who Ideal Race is, or who Eric is, they have one of the fastest QVs out there. They've been developing really cool parts like E85 for the QVs and a lot of different cool stuff just for the Alfa Romeo Giulia, the Alfa Romeo community in general. So we've been waiting and anticipating them. Some of us that are, kind of avid car enthusiasts, we've been waiting for them to jump in the 2.0 space. So I was super honored when they reached out to run their intake. Really excited about running this piece. Obviously, I hadn't worked with them in the past. So I didn't really know what to expect when I was opening their package, and I kind of went through in detail. Like, it's a very pretty piece, very pretty things, the way that they kind of set it up. And just like I was talking in the beginning, the packaging is different, the fitment, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, the fitment is like just so precise. Like, you can tell it was test fitted a lot. And so when I called Eric, when I first installed this kit, they didn't send any instructions or anything. It was pretty self-explanatory. I called them up and I said, I can just tell you guys put extra effort into this product versus what everything else that I've used from the Alpha community. He gave me the whole rundown of what they actually went through, tested a lot of different things, went through a lot of different phases of this to finally deliver this product that that if you do buy it, that you're gonna get. Again, it's an expensive piece, but you're paying for what you get, right? And again, if you guys saw their charts, it kind of touched over it a little bit. It seems to be they're gonna have one of the fastest 2.0s out there as well. So pretty exciting stuff. Pretty excited stuff for the Giulia. Hopefully you guys are pretty nice to them in the comments and are pretty excited about what they're gonna do for the 2.0 space. I know I've got a million questions about E85. If you want E85, hit them up. They're gonna have an E85 setup for you guys. You can actually purchase it right now. So I know that's gonna make a lot of people happy. So this is where we're gonna end today's video. If you guys haven't caught on yet, every single Tuesday we're gonna be dropping a new video for you guys. So coming up next Tuesday, we're gonna be dropping the hood video, which is gonna be back to the GTM content that I know you guys are so desperately waiting for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Huge shout out to Eric and team and anybody else who's ever supported us throughout this journey. We greatly appreciate you. This is the #1 channel for 2.0 content, Stelvio or Giulia, and we're so happy that you guys have supported us along the way. As always, go still buy a pen from our website. Go check out Modded Wear. Go check out Ideal Race's website. Everything is going to be linked down in the description below. Hope to see you guys next Tuesday. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. We're just making content. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's embarrassing.
What do you say?
You thought I was broken down because there was an Alfa Romeo. I'm just kidding. He did really think I was broken down though.